you're working with a sheet with a lot of data like this that you have already arranged them, but you are getting hard to enter data into a certain column, maybe just because you have this sheet has a lot of information and you want to fill in the information here and you are in a hurry. Sometimes you may be filling informations like faster, but the informations which you are filling here, they need to be very accurate. But I can see it has told me here invalid data. It means that the data that I've entered here, it is not needed. Well, I want to show you how you can make this, and it's very simple. Through the use of data validation function, you can enable this. Let me try to show you how you can do this. If you want to enable this feature that limits only a certain kind of data or the certain data range to be entered in the specific column or cell, you have to use the built-in function of data validation. Data validation is found in the tab of data. Therefore, you have first of all to highlight the whole column or cell that you want to validate a certain data to be validated. Therefore, for me here, I have highlighted this column C, which has the unit price. And then after highlighting like this, you have to go to the data tab, then go to data validation. You'll find the icon like this one. In some computers, it is written here, data validation. But here, you click to the drop-down menu, then click to that data validation. In the data validation, you find various options. We have this setting, input message, but also error alert. All these have their functions, but specifically, let's go to setting. Because we need our data to be validated in a certain kind or the certain range to be entered here in this column C, what you have to choose first is which type of data you want to validate. Is it any value? When you select any value, it means any value can be entered here, whether text, whether it is the symbol, whether it is numbers. But for us, we want to enter numbers because this column is about unit price. And therefore, you click to this drop-down menu and move to whole number. You select the whole number, and then after selecting that, because we want to validate which range of numbers we want to be entered into this column, what you have to do is to type the range of data from the minimum to the maximum. Let's say the minimum data to be entered here could be 0. From 0, and the maximum should not be more than 50. So to the maximum, you type 50. After doing that, you have to agree to OK. But before going to OK, as I said, there are other options here. There's input message. This input message tells you in each cell that will be moving, but that will make it active. It will remind you which data you are supposed to enter there. So in the next session, I will show you how to use this input message. But for now, let us skip to error message. This error message, it is to remind you whichever data that you want to enter in the column or cell, which is not valid as how you have specified here, 0 to 50. When you enter data which is out of range, it will remind you that this data is not correct, and therefore you have to type the error message here. What should it tell you? What should it remind you? For me here, I will choose that it should remind that this data is invalid. So I will type here this data is invalid. This data is invalid. And therefore, any data that I will enter into this column, which is not in the range that I've selected there, it will remind me with this error message. After doing that, you're okay now to move on. Therefore, let's try. I said here the data to be entered should start at 0, should range from 0 to 50. Let's say I have entered number 2. Yeah, that is okay. Number 52. It tells me this data is invalid. You can see this pop-up window. It has shown it. This data is invalid. So what you have to do is to retry or to cancel. So automatically, because this data is not the one that I've selected, you have to cancel and enter the data which is required. Let me enter 50. 50 is okay. Let me enter 25 is okay. Let me enter 100 right here. You can see it is still pop up and say this data is invalid. Therefore, that's how an easy way you can use to restrict the certain kind of data to be entered there and which one should not be entered there. See you later. Ciao.